Okay, then we'll go ahead and get started. If everybody is ready, thank you for waiting so patiently. Welcome to the first meeting of officially of the new cycle leading up to Anime Detour 2023. Detour to the Dark Side is our theme. As we've officially began the new cycle, we'll just reflect back a little bit on the past event that we had, even though we had our staff post-mortem wrap-up event. Again, a thank you to everybody that will watch this back later, but everybody here in attendance for all of your work in the years building up to that event, the online event, your patience through the 2 canceled events, and all of your work at the event itself in putting that on for over 7,000 attendees, registration notwithstanding, who was on the front lines of welcoming those 7,000 attendees to join us. So again, a thank you for all of the hard work that went into getting that event ready last year. So we look forward to putting on this event this year. There's already a lot of excitement into things that we're doing. So leading into that, we have some position announcements. We've already had some of these announcements up on social media. We've had some applications. We're scheduling some interviews. Those positions that are open, we have a vice chair position open, reservations, exhibit hall, logistics, marketing, merchandise, consuite, and photography. So if you're interested in applying or want any further information, please let us know. You can apply at ad_applications@animedetour.com. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to come up and let us know or send us an email.
Applications do close Sunday, I believe we set it at.
Yeah, most likely we'll be closing applications for positions that we've already received applications for. There's a few that we haven't received applications for. If we if we haven't received any applications for the position, we'll probably just leave it open until further notice rather than close it and reopen it, that sort of thing. Let's see here. Partner announcements. Dave, if you want to come up and do GPS and Anime Twin Cities here.
Sure. How's it? This is good? Okay, hi. I'm also the Geek Partnership Society treasurer here for those new people here. And I just wanted to remind you of 2 events coming up in the near future. One of them is the Pirate Cruise on Sunday, July 10th. That's where you pay $70. It's on our website, www.geekpartnership.org. And it's kind of our fundraiser, but instead of having a ball like everybody else does, we rent a paddle boat on the St. Croix River. We go up, we come down, and we drink, and we listen to music, and we have raffles. I was kind of skeptical myself when I first became the treasurer and was involved with it, but it's actually a lot of fun, especially when you get to see other people do stuff, like drink too much and listen to music. Anyway, if it sounds fun, it's on our website. After that, of course, our charity auction will be at Convergence, which is, I believe, the second week in August. And if you are bored at Convergence, which I don't see how you would be, come visit us at the charity auction. I'll be behind the desk trying to answer all your questions. Thank you very much for your time. One thing. The soda machine in there, thanks to Board Member John Itzen for trying to help us fix it, is a little bit twitchy. If you try to get soda out of there and you put money in and you do something, nothing happens, wait a second and hit it again. We are endeavoring to get a soda machine repairman out, but if you lose your money, please feel free to let me know or let someone else know. We don't steal from people. Really, we don't. We just need to know about it. Again, thank you very much.
We just all need to channel the funds to get the soda machine to work.
What'd you say?
We all need to channel the funds to get the soda machine to work.
I don't know if everybody gets that reference, but yes, the fonts. You can just hit it. Anyway, now for Anime Twin Cities announcements. Please look out in your mail in the next a week or so. There are going to be charter amendments heading your way. As a member of Anime Twin Cities, as you're also a member of Anime Detour, just bylaw, not charter. Yep, corrected again. Bylaw changes, basically the operating document of Anime Twin Cities. So we're going to use, since we no longer take votes at these meetings, we're going to be using a website. So keep an eye out for these emails about the changes that we want to make to our bylaws. And please feel free to give feedback to me or to any other board member. Also remember, on June the 26th at 6 o'clock at the France Avenue Perkins, it's going to be a presidential meeting. I was trying to find something clever to call it, but it's just a chance for people who are not on the board to listen to our members. And I'll be there at 6 o'clock, and I'll be there until there's nobody there. And please feel free to come and share with me your perceptions and what you think and what you'd like to see. That's what it's there for. It's not there to, you're not going to be evaluated. It's not going to be held against you. We just want to hear what people want, because when we listen, everybody has a better time. Thank you very much. And here you go.
Thank you, Dave. So from there, we'll move into department announcements. There might not be a lot to cover, being the first meeting back. Before we get into that, as you've noticed, rather conspicuous by his absence up here at the front for the first time in a decade is Andy. So we want to take a moment to recognize Andy for 10 years of service as a vice chair. He has stepped down, hopefully will be transitioning into some other role within Anime Detour. That's why we have one of those positions open. So thank you to Andy for all of his years of service. No, he just sat there. Stoic as usual, I believe he was grinning behind the mask, but that's about as much emotion as we got. But so I have a few updates from Alex, her division here. IT, they were making some small changes, some quality changes and updates to the registration system. From guest relations, they are working on getting some contracts out and signed and sent back to some potential guests of honor. Once that happens, we can do some pushes on social media, promoting those. And cosplay, they're looking at partnering with some vendors to sponsor the masquerade. They also sent out a survey to the 2022 competitors and should have the results ready for discussion in August. And finally, they are looking to run a cosplay masquerade feedback panel the Sunday of the convention in 2023. They've seen something like that done at other cons, and something they're looking to implement for Anime Detour. Mike, did you have anything from your teams?
I'll be pretty quick here. Programming, they are planning on a September 1st opening for their panel submissions. So if you have panels, and you should, submit them, and you should to Dave. So we have programming panels to run here. Convention communications, they are looking at something we talked about last year about having extra cross-trained staff, primarily help just with some of their badging areas and just minor assistance throughout the convention due to how many hours they need help throughout. So if you're only working a few hours in one department, you just want to pick up a couple extra hours, that's greatly appreciated. It's pretty simple work. Along the lines with that, we are actually looking at possibly tweaking the name from Convention Communications to Convention Services. Final name pending. We are still running through a few different things here. We're trying to find better ways of making the name properly reflect what they actually do. It's more of a guest services function instead of just a communications and interactions. Artist Alley, they are looking at opening their submission forms around late August. It's actually slightly dependent on when Exhibit Hall opens their submissions, because they want to mirror that. So once we hear from Exhibit Hall, once Exhibit Hall has a head and we hear from the new Exhibit Hall head when they want to open their forms, we'll have when artist alleys can open their submission forms. And that's kind of the last of the solidified ones. There were registration and reservations both have pending openings soon. Unfortunately, their dates are still much more in flux, so we can't exactly give you any heads up now. We'll let you know more when we know more.
Thank you, Mike. I have some updates here, just some housekeeping things from the admin department as we enter into, again, the beginning of the cycle. For staff emails, if you're not receiving emails, please check your spam folder. If they're not going there, please contact ad_admin@animedetour.com so that we can look into the issue and figure out what's happening there. The last staff email was sent Wednesday, June 25th. For name updates, this is something that had been discussed, and we just want to make sure that everybody has an explanation into what's going on behind that. We must use your legal name in our records as far as what currently appears on your government-issued ID. If you have a legal name change, please again contact ad_admin@animedetour.com or an admin here at one of the in-person meetings. The name changes are considered legal as soon as the appropriate certificate is signed or court hearing approving the change is completed. So if you have any further questions on that, please contact admin. As far as department assignments, for general staff, if your department is currently listed as pending, you are not actively placed under department head. Department head can request you to be added to their staff, or the admin team can help place you in a department. I'm not going to place you in a department without the department head's knowledge. So that's how that will work. As far as department heads, if you have any questions regarding your staff list or you need to add or remove staff members, please contact admin, again, at the ad_admin@animedetour.com or speak to an admin in person here at one of the meetings. So that's pretty much it for the housekeeping stuff. Some of the stuff that we wanted to just try and run through again here at the beginning. I know it's a lot of information, but we kind of wanted to make sure and set some of the baseline tones or some of the bullet points, some of the things that we've been trying to do in the last, I'd say the last couple of years. Obviously, we weren't building to a physical convention in the last couple of years, but we were still trying to hit some of these points. But they're good things for us to reflect back on in the past year and sort of check ourselves and to see if we ourselves thought we were being as successful as we wanted to be in these areas. And something to continue to focus on is we just wanted to run through a few of some of the behind the scenes things and then let you guys as staff know some of the initiatives that we're looking at picking up on in this cycle or continuing to work towards, so you have an idea on what our thoughts are so that we can work with you guys on your thoughts on those things, so that we're all kind of on the same page. But we've talked about it a lot, but as far as having a unified vision that, would sort of all of us working together, it might start with an initiative here at the top, but that working with the vice chairs and the executive team, working with those departments and collaborating again so that we're on the same page, taking feedback, whether it be from staff or external feedback, and putting that into those one-to-one reviews that the vice chairs will do with the department heads, and planning forward so that the vice chairs and the executive team are on the same page with the department heads in the proposal, planning, and implementation stages as we move forward throughout this cycle on things that we're trying to get implemented for the 2023 cycle or beyond. We're not always trying to get something inserted and implemented just year to year. There's things that we're laying the building blocks or the foundation of this year that we might not see hit the point of fruition for a year or two. Some of the other ideas that have been submitted to us that we're cognizant of, that we want to make sure, and these things are two-way streets, is that just the overall communication, pardon me, is to make sure that we're being transparent and open door with all of our staff, especially the department heads, that you guys are aware it is that we're working on. And for me, it's important that you guys know that after the vice chairs, pardon me, meet with you guys and sort of set that plan for what we're working for 2023, that as a department head, you guys aren't just then on your own for the rest of the cycle. The rest of that cycle, those vice chairs and the executive team are there to support you throughout as we build towards Anime Detour 2023. If you guys need staff, you have questions, you have concerns, any issues, that's essentially a huge part of the role of that vice chair is to be there for you and support you. If it's not something they're able to work on themselves, they will come back to the executive team as a whole, and we will figure out a way to get you the answers or the help that you need so that you are supported in your role, so that you can support the members of your team, your subheads. So it really is a collaborative effort of all of us working towards opening those doors for those thousands of folks that are going to come to visit us. So within that is just making sure that we're opening to listening to each other's ideas, whether you guys are listening to our ideas, and again, making sure that we're listening to your guys' ideas. I'm trying to think of the best way to word this. Ideas don't come from a title, they come from people. So I don't need the ideas to come from a department head or a subhead. Once we do hear an idea, obviously it's important that we are working through that with all of the departments that it will touch on, and the department heads, and if it's something financial, treasurers, things like that. But you don't have to be a department head to have a good idea. Everything that we've done here at Anime Detour, even I'd say predating me, because some of the people in here have been here since year 1 or 2, came from somebody, and they weren't always leadership at the time. So we want to make sure that is recognized, that if you have a good idea or have an idea, let us know, and we'll run it out and see how we can implement it, when we can implement it, what sort of resources we have available to do that. Sometimes I think from what we've seen, or what has been mentioned to us, is oftentimes when an idea is brought out, there's sort of a rapid fire shoot down. Not going to do that, can't do that. And we kind of like to try and change that tone to, like I said, sort of running through the idea, and instead of immediately finding reasons we can't do that, is to work through how could we make this work and whether or not it's possible, versus the immediate, it'll never work. Basically just finding additional solutions to keep moving forward, a continual improvement process, that sort of idea. So just overall respect for each other and what we're doing. What we're doing is impossible. It shouldn't work, but it does every year. That with an all-volunteer staff, and that hotel is empty, and I was just talking with Dave about that the hotel is empty on Wednesday, and it's empty again Monday afternoon. But think of what happens in those few days for 7,000 people. It's pretty neat. And they don't know, most of them aren't cognizant of how much time and effort and staff put into that all year, and even just the number of hours put into that weekend to put that show on for them. And it's been happening for 19 years. So that's pretty magical. So, and like I said, doing that with an all-volunteer staff, I mean, many events that are our size outside of fandom are doing that with paid people. So just a little bit to think of, but we want to make sure that we're addressing that. We want to communicate with each other as we're at the start of this. Some of the things we're looking at for actual things this year is an improvement on our marketing. We saw some success this year with the videos that we did, and they had 30,000 views. I don't have a direct translation into how many actual registrations that may have led to, but we believe that they led to some. So increased brand awareness through that and growth. We're trying to look at this year some additional sponsorships without becoming a NASCAR convention, but just trying to start opening up like a sponsorship deck and seeing what we can do with that. Obviously, like a number of other conventions and volunteer events nationwide, we too have suffered from a staff shortage. So as we were before COVID, we'll be continuing our staff recruitment through social media, through our relationships with our partner conventions, including like staff exchanges and things like that. So we continue to take a look at the staff perks that are offered and how we can continue to improve on those, as well as leadership development. So for people that are interested in becoming department heads, vice chairs, things like that, making sure that we can work through that with you so that when people do transition out of department head positions, that we have some people willing to step in and fill those roles. And then just from sort of a additional behind the scenes point is continuing to look at our existing policies, and if there aren't some in place, to continue to either develop those or refine those and make sure that those are documented so that they're in writing for everybody to look at, and that they know where to find them, and like I said, that those are documented so they're easy for people to refer to, as well as so that people are aware if there's something they want to request a change to or think that we should look at, that they're able to do that. So I know that's a lot of information here at the beginning, but I kind of thought that was the best place to kind of get that all out there. I don't know if Mike or Ashley, if you guys have anything additional, but outside of sort of all of that information, we thought this early in the cycle, if and something that we could continue to look at as we move forward, similar to what we did last year in an effort to continue the communication for department heads. Every other month, we will continue what we were doing last year and have the department heads meetings in the classroom before the overall staff meeting. And then we are looking at a way to, for all staff, refold back into the general staff meeting, sort of the divisional breakouts, to kind of keep that sort of social element and reconnect with each other that way. So are there any questions overall from staff about anything really, any stuff from last year, stuff we're looking at doing this year, any questions or concerns? We'll try to keep this portion going at staff meetings as well, so that you guys have an opportunity to engage us personally. But as always, you can email us at any point, but if there's any questions, we'd like you guys to have the opportunity to ask them here as well. Nobody? I figured, but like I said, if there was an early in the day or early in the cycle. Okay, because it's also early in the day, so I wasn't sure which direction. Tristan? Ah, bummer. Okay, well, yeah, if there's nothing, like I said, if there's something that you think of about anything, or something you would like to see us try and put some additional focus on, additional energy, that sort of thing, again, make sure you guys are emailing us. You can email us as a group at the chairman group. If it's admin specific, email admin, or if you just want to start with your vice chair, email them specifically. But let's make sure that we're using those communication tools. If it's an issue, we want to hear about it. We want to work with you guys. We are here to support the folks that we work alongside with. So thank everybody for coming out to this first meeting. We apologize for the late start. but technical difficulties. But thank you everybody for coming out, and we look forward to the continued push towards 2023. So thank you.